Yeah, and we'll go ahead and move on. We'll go ahead and move on to your favorite team,
Yes, sir.
the Miami Dolphins. I'll go and let you take the floor to talk about what you want to talk about. But they obviously have improved. But I do have some concerns with them. I'll go ahead and give you the floor.
There's 100% going to be concerns. Uh, it's completely unpredictable. We have Mike McDaniel, first time being a head coach. We have Tua, who hasn't proven himself. But besides that, we haven't had an O line my whole life. And they add Teron Armstead, who's probably going to play 10 games. I'm just being realistic, and I hope he plays more, but that's the realistic part about it. But when he is, he's a top tier tackle. We have Connor Williams most likely going to be starting at center. And the reason why I really wanted Teron Armstead is because he's a coach as well as a player. He's going to coach these young guys up like Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg, and hopefully make them great players as well. But the main thing about this team, the defense didn't change at all. We kept the DC. We kept Josh Boyer. We kept everybody on the defense except for Justin Coleman, who didn't have that much of an impact. The biggest concern and the only red flag is McDaniel and Tua. And I wouldn't even say McDaniel's a red flag. You just don't know yet. This whole team's record depends on Tua Tagovailoa. Point blank, period. If he's good, we're going to be a very good team. And we've got a very tough schedule. But if he's bad, we're going to be the same team we were last year, 9-8 wins. But if he's good, we could win 11 to 12 games, no doubt. I don't think that's enough to win the division, but we have no weak spots besides the O-line that needs progression and quarterback. So it's now or never for Tua, and this is his year. If he doesn't do it, we have 2 first-round picks, and that's what we'll be looking for in the draft.
Yeah, so I mean, Tua is a question mark. I personally liked Tua coming in. He's underperforming for my expectations. But I did choose as a breakout candidate. More so the fact that he has to, right? He has to if the Dolphins want to make the playoffs. They have one of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. Tyreek Hill, I expect him to maybe not have a step back in production, but I don't think he's going to be as efficient as he was last year with the type of passes he was getting in Kansas City. Obviously, he's going from Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, to Tua, who's maybe borderline top 20 type of quarterback in the NFL, possibly. I don't even know, right?
Yeah, I'd say he's early to late 20s. You could put him anywhere in there. I won't argue it. But my thing is, one thing I hear a lot, and I'm sick of hearing, is, oh, you have Tyreek Hill, the best deep threat in football, which just it might be true, but it's not true as compared to what he did last year. The guy is a rack king. You throw him short routes, he takes it the distance. He scored 1 touchdown all last year on a bomb play. 1. The rest of them were short routes, him using his own feet to make the yards. That's what this system is. It's a zone run scheme with McDaniel, and it's going to be a bunch of dink and dunk, boring stuff. Well, let me say this. It was boring the years before, but with Waddle and Tyreek, 2 of the top 5 fastest receivers in the NFL, I'd say top 2, but that's biased. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun even in this boring scheme. It's going to be fun.
It should be fun. Obviously, McDaniel, he had Shanahan calling the plays last year, right? So we don't know what his true offense is going to be. The run game, I think, should be improved, but if Tua doesn't take a step forward, maybe the run game doesn't improve because they're not going to be worried too much about the pass.
For sure.
I mean, they added Raheem Mostert, one of, if not the fastest running backs in the NFL. They added Chase Edmonds, who I think is a pretty good running back. Not someone that's going to necessarily scare you, but he's a productive guy. They also had Sonny Michel, who I'm not too crazy about, but he can be good with when he gets the ball. But the run game, it's not going to be a top run game in the league, but it should be average. They also got Mike Gesicki, who is more of a receiver than a tight end, but that's just another receiver for Tua to be able to throw the ball to. And then on defense, I personally do expect the defense to maybe take a bit of a step back. They did lose Brian Flores, who, even though some people might not like him in the locker room, he might have butted heads with some people, he was a very smart coach, and he did implement a lot of stuff into that defense. I think the defense has overperformed over the past couple of years due to the coaching. And I expect to take a small step back. I know statistically they were just basically average all around the boards last year, but I could see some weaknesses on defense this upcoming season with the loss of Brian Flores.
Yeah, for sure. That's completely. You're allowed to say that. It's unpredictable, but I do believe Flores was the guru behind the defense last year. It's just the safest thing to say. He's always been there. I don't believe Boyer called the plays. I just don't believe it. So yeah, I do think the defense takes a step back, but McDaniel's mind. I get just the way he talks, the way he thinks. I've watched all those videos behind the scenes. He's gonna have some special plays. Have some Tyreek in the backfield. Have some jet sweeps. A lot of jet sweeps, hopefully, because that's what we need to be doing. And the reason why I like the running back signings is it's not like anything crazy. I agree with you. It's probably gonna be mid tier, but you sign the fast guy, Mostert. You sign the bruiser, Sony Michel, and you sign the all around just good at everything or mediocre at everything, Chase Edmonds. You just got everything there. Whatever McDaniel wants to do, he's going to be able to do. And you can't really say at the end of the season, oh, McDaniel's bad because of this. He's got everything he could ever need in his type of scheme. So it's all McDaniel and Tua. And I'm excited for the season. I'm going to be there at game 1. I'm excited, man. It's either going to be a 9 to 8 win season or it's going to be 11-12. There isn't in between. It's 10 wins, but it's not going to be that.
Well, average run game would be good for the Dolphins. They were the third worst team running the ball last year. So even if we can get to average, that would be much better for the Dolphins. And I was going to bring something else up, which I'm forgetting at the top of my head. But also they're a team that doesn't have to worry about turnovers, right? They didn't produce a lot of turnovers last year. I know Xavier Howard's a ball hawk, but they didn't produce a lot of turnovers overall last year in the NFL, and they did turn the ball over at a higher rate than most teams last year. So I don't know if that's necessarily something that coaching can fix, but that is going to be an issue for the Dolphins. They got to be able to win the turnover battle more.
For sure, completely agree with you. And like every team, only time would tell. But I'm excited for this team. What McDaniel could do. All the assets are there. Just make it happen.